How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of CryptoClout. I'm your host, FaZe Crypto, and today we are proud to bring you this episode, which we will be talking about Nucleus Vision, of course. And there's really an exciting future in store for Nucleus Vision. I'm definitely excited to see how this sort of membership program based around cryptocurrency is going to have an interesting impact on the way that the global community looks at membership programs. And basically, when we look at the news regarding Nucleus Vision, India's really looking pretty substantial when it comes to the various different partnerships and so forth we've been seeing involving Nucleus Vision. It's interesting to see how they've been establishing and moving across with the roadmap. Of course, we are in 2018, so we can only expect so much from the public's perception of cryptocurrencies. But as we see cryptocurrency going in popularity in that specific direction, really all these various different aspects of the global community that have the opportunity of being optimized, the attention that Nucleus Vision has been receiving lately is really, I believe, well deserved. We've been seeing some really interesting developments happening, and currently today we're seeing Nucleus Vision up 3%, which is of course pretty exciting in respect to where cryptocurrency has been. Of course, we were seeing a couple of days in the red, a lot of different variables happening, and we really need to take into consideration how cryptocurrency is really takes into account a multitude of global, really international variables that really have a substantial impact. And there's different things that happen all around the world that are going to be playing a substantial role in how we see cryptocurrencies adapted by the public. But when it comes to Nucleus Vision, it's definitely one of those interesting technologies that I've been paying very close attention to. When you consider all the different variables of the Internet of Things and the fact that the consciousness of the public is becoming very much more data driven, what we've been seeing happening involving Facebook and all these various different companies, and the way that the public has been perceiving their control over their data, a cryptocurrency based membership program like Nucleus Vision is certainly in the right position currently when it comes to the opening of a market, when it comes to looking at how these different variables are going to really be influencing the world of tomorrow. And I think Nucleus Vision is definitely, when it comes to my idea of a smart city, definitely interested in seeing how Nucleus Vision is going to be having probably some significant interest in it in the future, as we see the world of retail is certainly one of those spaces that's in need of an overhaul. If you take into consideration all the different retail outlets that are currently going out of business, that trend is going to sadly continue for everybody out there who works at a Toys R Us. If they're pretty much gone out of business at this point. All these various different retail outlets are going out of business, and it's in part due to optimization. Amazon is a huge influencer on it, but ultimately on top of that, you also have to take into consideration the fact that the retail environment really doesn't leverage data the way that various different technologies do. But Nucleus Vision's really here to change that and really optimize the way that we perceive data and the way that we perceive things in this on this scale. And of course, with the Internet of Things, it really does open up a really significant opportunity as things continue to move forward. So there really is a lot of opportunity made with blockchain-based information. And really, when we consider the Internet of Things and all these different variables of the world of tomorrow, Nucleus Vision really is in a key strategic place when we consider that. And of course, when I look at the list of cryptocurrencies on here, I always pay attention to how these technologies are going to be acting in the real world and what we can expect for them in respect to how they're going to be acting. Because of course, you have to take into consideration that technologies like Litecoin, which are trying to be like their own currency, are not necessarily going to be the best performing cryptocurrencies because not many people are really, I mean, people use USD, people use Euro, people use, they're using cash still. And of course, it's going to take a few more steps to actually be seeing people using Litecoin to buy some Starbucks and all these different things. But of course, when I think of something like Nucleus Vision, there's definitely a lot of interesting things in respect to the actual utility of the technology and the way that they're actually going to be acting in the real world and leveraging these sort of variables that have been coming together. And of course, we are very early in the game when it comes to cryptocurrency, and there's a lot of different questions that need to be answered, of course, in regards to the total market cap and the overall accessibility of cryptocurrency, and the public consciousness indeed is developing. We're seeing cryptocurrencies talked about in the mainstream more and more. So of course, Nucleus Vision is really in an interesting point. It is really interesting to see how these technologies have been developing. And of course, Nucleus Vision was recently just listed on this top 5, for long-term HODL. I was watching this video by Crypto Busy, and this is a really great video. I'm actually going to be including a link to it down in the description, but I'd recommend everybody go and subscribe to this channel because he really does give a good perspective in respect to the potential that's in store for Nucleus Vision. And I found this video was really helpful when it came to me understand. I mean, obviously, I like to hear everybody's different perspective when it comes to Nucleus Vision, and it's just interesting to see the various different people who choose to put it on these top 5 lists. And of course, I would say Nucleus Vision is something that I'm very excited about long term as well. I'd recommend everybody go and follow Nucleus Vision on their official Twitter, just because Twitter is a really great resource to stay up to date regarding cryptocurrencies and stay in the know in regards to these technologies. And of course, Twitter really gives you that live feed when it comes to the news. And of course, you guys can connect with us on our Twitter, which is of course CryptoClout, and we'll be including a link to our Twitter down in the description. It'll actually be the first link in the description below. That'll be the link to the new community Twitter, which is CryptoClout. And of course, we're always active on our other Twitter, which is CryptoTuber. But of course, you guys can connect with us on Twitter, and I'm sure the loyal fan base is already aware. It is really awesome to see how we've had such a great fan base growing on this channel, and I'm happy to see it growing even more. We're about to hit 20,000 subscribers. It's really exciting. And yeah, all that being said, I hope you guys definitely do some research into Nucleus Vision, and of course do your own research, and always hold yourself accountable for all these things. Of course, remember, standard disclaimer, this video is not financial advice. This is for educational entertainment purposes only, and this is just my opinion regarding Nucleus Vision. But yeah, this entire video is just my opinion. But when it comes to my opinion, you can clearly see that it's pretty positive when it comes to NCASH and the future of the Internet of Things and so forth. And it really is interesting to see how retail is in how it's going to be looking in the future, and how many different smart devices are being connected in all these different variables. So yeah, a lot of exciting things to look forward to, especially in 2019, 2020. Really going to be seeing these sort of variables really becoming more and more in the public consciousness. So a lot of exciting things to be obtained in respect to these technologies, and I think Nucleus Vision is really in a key strategic place. But just remember, it's not financial advice. I'm not your dad. You guys are already aware of this standard disclaimer, of course, but it is important to keep the community educated in respect to all these different variables. But yeah, all that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this content. Make sure that you connect with us on Twitter and so forth, and of course make sure that you connect with Nucleus Vision on Twitter. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's always important to get your information directly from the source. I mean, cryptocurrency really is a very volatile space, so that's why I'd recommend hearing various different perspectives, but of course always look to the most authoritative sources. But yeah, my understanding of Nucleus Vision is pretty fundamentally data driven, and I find that it's important to look at the team that's working on these technologies. But I mean, look, it just went up while we were talking about it in that short amount of time, but of course that's really no real indication of anything. But Just interesting things to be paying attention to. And of course the news with their it seems like they've been pretty positive in regards to the coverage that they've given Nucleus Vision. I mean, there really is a great community that's built around this technology, and I'm certainly excited to be seeing the future that's in store for this sort of global community perspective approach when it comes to blockchain. And of course Nucleus Vision is right in the center of all that. But all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this content, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And of course, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.